There. Welcome to another episode of Ghouls, Guts, and Gloves, where we are reviewing another movie, an old favorite of mine. I saw this, I think, for the first time about a year or so ago. You just saw it this morning?
Yes.
This morning.
Yeah.
We are talking about Alucarda. Spanish title, I forget the exact phrase, but it's translated English to The Daughter of Darkness. So previously, I lent Gigi the Martyrs and some other movies are more serious in tone.
Martyrs, Sinister, Poltergeist, The Brood, Inside. All very brutal and dark.
All very brutal and dark, serious movies. Alucarda, definitely dark, definitely brutal. It's a
it's not. I don't think it was that brutal. It was dark and there was violence, but there was minimal gore.
Yeah, there was just a lot. There wasn't that much gore, but there was just a ton of blood. When
the only part that I really saw a lot of blood was when she was lying in a coffin full of blood.
That's a lot of blood.
Yeah, for that one part. But then, the scene where she supposedly dies, I didn't even register that she died because they just poked her with some pins and she had a few poke marks on her that were bleeding minimally, and they're like, "You killed her." And wait, she's dead?
You killed her. This isn't religion.
Look,
This is savagery.
Yeah, I'm not the toughest person on the planet, but if you poke me with some needles a few times, I'm not gonna die.
Who knows what else? Maybe they got her heart that was in her stomach. Anyways,
her heart that was in her stomach.
You never know how witches work.
They're like Time Lords. You don't know their anatomy.
You don't. It's only 74 minutes too. That's insane that they packed that much into 74 minutes because this movie
it really felt a lot longer.
I know, they just packed because every scene is so saturated. Everything in this movie, it's kind of John Waters-y. We're not sure how much they intended to make it over the top. Because they had to be aware at some point that this was everything was very saturated. The scenes that had blood, it was her literally sleeping in a coffin filled with blood because
That's a lot of blood.
Fuck it, why not?
That's some Elizabeth Bathory shit.
Yeah, but she was already young. She was in the movie they said that she was 17 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the movie she says she's 17. So she's just doing it because it's evil, I guess. And I guess that's
because of reasons.
I think that's probably a good thing to say just about the movie in general, that they just did it because it was evil. There's so many scenes in the movie where one of my favorite scenes in the entire movie is when they're in Sunday school or whatever it was, and the nun is reading something from the Bible, and Alucard is not paying attention. It's like, "Can you repeat what I said?" And this is what the devil does. He grants us wisdom to serve his kingdom, the only valid one. And and then Justine gets up and says God in his doesn't understand this power. And they start screaming, "Satan, Satan, our Lord and Master."
Yeah.
It's such a fun movie. It's
very fun. It's not scary.
Oh no! No!
Yeah.
It's not scary, but it's so much fun. Just
this is the movie that the kid in high school that he listens to metal, sits in the back of class, and if you give him a something okay, you can write a story for creative writing. He doesn't give a fuck about the class. He just wants to talk about Satan and piss everyone off and just thinks it's a laugh riot.
Oh, totally.
This is the movie he makes.
I mean, I'm sure. I mean, at the time, this was, this movie was made in Mexico, which is a highly religious country.
Mm.
This was made in 1975, so now we can just put the standards and just say to them. So,
oh yeah, I'm sure a lot of the movies I like nowadays are going to be really laughable in a good 10 years.
Right.
I mean, Matrix is already a laugh.
Oh yeah, all those movies from 10, 15 years ago where they show the cutting edge technology.
Yeah, that's the thing. When a movie relies on technology, that's dooming it to be dated.
Have you seen? Did you see Hackers?
No.
Oh my god! Yeah, it's all those. He's got a 40 gigabyte. Oh my god! His modem is so.
Well, that's one of the reasons
all the hacking scenes in those movies was why is hacking a video game? This isn't what it looks like. I don't.
Well, that's like one of the reasons Twilight Zone still holds up is because, I
Hmm.
mean, the special effects in that show are laughable at
Right, right,
best.
right, right, right,
It's cardboard boxes and
right,
things
yeah,
on
yeah, yeah, yeah.
strings, but like those were incidental to like the plot and like
Right.
what the episode was
Hmm.
about.
Yeah, like if you do a period piece,
Mm.
it's gonna hold up stronger and not be so awkward.
Yeah.
Such as when was this movie taking place? It was early 1900s, right?
Uh, yeah, early, like before the 20s.
Yeah, definitely before the 20s. Yeah,
Yeah.
early 1900s. So this story is about Alucarda and her friend Justine, who Alucarda just develops a lesbian crush on. For reasons unknown, we don't know why. It just happened
For reasons.
for reasons because why not? And then so Alucarda's already into dark shit, and then some gypsies come along and like do a fortune telling stuff, and then there's an orgy, and then a giant goat headed thing, and they pledge your souls to Satan. And there was like some at one part they imply that there's like these two witches that were buried in a cemetery or something. Like they imply that that was them reincarnated. I'm not sure if that was a plot point or just Alucarda talking crazy.
Yeah, she did a lot of that.
She just talked a lot of crazy.
I mean, it's, like the movie's at the point where when Alucarda talks, you don't really need to listen anymore.
Oh god. Yeah. Yeah, okay.
I mean, a lot of the movie, the dialogue is pretty incidental.
Oh no, but they go on such great, super heavy satanic rants. It's
Yeah, the satanic stuff is cool, but just the plot is just so thrown together. Like, it's a cool movie in as much as like there's lots of cool shit that happens, but as a story, it doesn't hold up at all.
Yeah. The story is
Like, this would be a great movie to have like playing in the background at like a metal show or something,
I was projected on
or like
one
a
of my
noise,
shows.
or
But
like or like a noise show or something.
yeah, I did that one.
Yeah.
But anyway, because fucking this movie's amazing. Yeah, so everything's super saturated. As you mentioned, the satanic rants are like extremely hammy, beautifully hammy, really. There isn't that much violence in it, but the scenes that are violent are the climax.
Oh yeah, the scene where he's like trying to chop off the dead nun's head.
Yeah.
He took way too many tries because he had a sword. Swords are heavy.
I don't know. Maybe you know. What do you know about swords?
I've held swords, real ones. I don't own any, but I've held them.
This guy owns a sword.
I don't own a sword.
Look at this guy.
I'm not a men's rights activist.
This guy owns a sword.
I do not own a sword. My girlfriend owns a sword. It's hanging on her wall in the living room. It's the sword of Isildur from Lord of the Rings, and it's real. There's actually a plastic cover on the point to prevent injuries. Yeah, go figure. My girlfriend plays video games, has a sword, watches football, fixes cars.
Anyway,
That's why I have to have a beard.
yeah, you have to have the beard and drink
Yeah, and drink.
hoppy IPAs.
Yeah.
To just show that you're a big mailing man. So
It's
anyway,
either that or just walk around with my penis hanging out.
yeah,
And it's not large enough to do that without
Yeah.
incidents.
right.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's kind of cold out today too. It's nice. I enjoy the cold.
Yeah, it would actually add to the problem.
Anyway, so spoilers ahead. Sorry. So at the climax of this 74-minute movie that seems so much longer because everything is just so packed. All the acting is super, super over the top. They are just like acting the fuck out of these scenes. Like at one point, so Alucard is killed by the priest because they're stopping Satan. You were talking.
No, Justine wasn't she?
Yeah, Justine.
Yeah.
And then
I don't know
Yeah,
what
Justine.
happened to Alucard. She got away somehow.
she got away and came back.
No, the doctor took her.
Dr. took her.
Yeah.
Goddamn, so much crazy shit in this
The
movie.
doctor took her, and then Alucard seduced the blind girl.
Yeah.
Was she blind? They never established that. They just had her act blind.
I think she was. It was kind of implied that she was blind. Anyway.
She never made eye contact, and she did this with her hands a lot.
So then they're like, oh no, this is, not religion, this is savagery, who killed her. And then, like, for a second, the movie almost seems like it's gonna be a real thing again. Like, this wasn't an over-the-top, fantastic in every sense of the term, romp this through madness. And then, oh, nope. brought back to life.
Yeah, it seemed like it was gonna. It almost had like a Plan 9 sort of like
Mm-hmm.
absurd movie that tried to have a point kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then
And then nope.
yeah, and then
Nope.
dead nun comes to life, chop her head off
Chop her head off.
with several whacks of a blade. Just very just wha 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 wha
So good.
wha. Finally, it comes off.
Finally, it comes off.
She didn't have a thick neck.
No, she was not a large lady or anything like that.
I've actually heard though that back in the day, one of the methods of execution was a guillotine with a wooden blade, because it wouldn't go all the way through, and so you had to do it a bunch of times and actually pound it hard. And so like they basically had it to be a less humane guillotine, like for the purposes of like
punishment and all that stuff. Jesus, it reminds me of just because I want to throw this in here. When Gacy was executed, the lethal injection cocktail, they didn't include the part where because before, like, they put in the part where like you're entirely numb, your body just goes somewhere else.
Supposedly,
right? Supposedly, you know,
I've heard what it is. It just paralyzes you.
Anyway, so whatever. Yeah. So if it numbs you or paralyzes you, so if it numbs you, that part didn't happen. So he felt his body tear apart. I just imagine there's like some person in the execution law like, and nope, well, no.
Because I have rudimentary knowledge on how lethal injection works, but from what I understand, one chemical goes in and supposedly puts you to sleep.
Right.
And then the next one just stops your heart.
Right.
But from what I've understood, the chemical that they use to put you to sleep actually doesn't do that. It just paralyzes you so that it looks like you're asleep. Because I guess like they did tests on like the brains of like the
right.
And it says like there's signs like they went through like a bunch of distress and like pain and stuff. So
right. Like parts of the brain would be acting up. That would make sense.
Yeah. So I don't know how much. I don't know what it's like to die of lethal injection.
Neither do I. Hope I don't find out. Yeah. Anyway, I just imagine the execution. I'm like, and for you, Mr. Gacy, I'll just leave this part out. And
it's like the Green Mile where they don't wet the sponge.
Yeah, except that was just more corruption in Gacy. Although I don't support the death penalty in general.
Yeah.
But
Delacroix seemed to be less deserving of that than Gacy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Green Mile was that was more of a case.
He had a mouse.
He had a mouse.
Yeah.
Gacy didn't have a mouse. Maybe did he?
He painted clowns.
Alucarda.
Yeah.
So, by the end of the movie, this movie has one of the most amazing climaxes I have ever seen anywhere in cinema. So, Alucarda goes back, gets her revenge, sets an entire convent on fire.
And by sets an entire convent on fire, we mean she looks at a nun and they burst into flames.
She produces spontaneous, but she just gives the super hammy little.
Yeah, it's like when you get in trouble when you're a little kid and your mom gives you that look.
Except you literally burst into flames.
Like what happens
instead of just what you feel like.
Yeah. Like they manifest how you feel.
They manifest that you're bursting into flames.
Yeah.
And fucking this bless the fucking directors for coming to this. Last shot of the movie. I love a happy ending. And just zooms in on this burning Jesus. Roll credits. So yeah, it's obviously, you've seen this movie, watching this review, but this is one of my favorite movies to watch. I watch this one all the time. Not all the time, but I do a rewatch every once in a while. It's a great movie. I really enjoy having it as, like you said, like a background movie because the plot.
Yeah, there's
most of the dialogue is incidental. When the dialogue matters, it fucking matters. When you go the super satanic hammy rants, it's amazing. But most of the time, it has a bunch of crazy imagery. Actually, the tagline.
That's actually kind of
like... Sorry, go ahead.
That's actually kind of a mark of like a really, not necessarily a great movie, but a good movie is when you can have it as background noise a lot.
Right.
Like it's a movie that is very enjoyable, but you don't even have to pay attention to it. Like it's just fun to be able to look up and see what's going on or hear what's going on occasionally.
Right. Well, if you've seen the movie already, you can fill in the blanks.
Right, but there's even there's lots of movies like there's movies where you have to sit down and actually focus and appreciate it, like Network. You can't just have that as background noise. But like it's like certain albums. Like certain albums, you actually have to sit down and like focus on, give a lot of attention
Well,
to.
Alucarda's reflecting into Alucarda.
That's like some Inception
Woo.
reflection shit.
Can we see that in there? Is it going?
Yeah,
Does it
you
go
can see
further? Does it go further? It goes further.
I can't see if it goes further, but I can see Alucarda's reflection in her black hair.
Yeah, you can see us recording.
Yeah.
Yeah. Close up on me.
But yeah, so like there's some horror, like Martyrs I probably couldn't have in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Something like, but like that kind of speaks to the testament of like how enjoyable the movie is, and like
no way.
There's that weird thing of like, should a movie be enjoyable or should it be great to say something?
No, like totally like you would watch this movie for very different purposes, like than you would watch Martyrs or any other movie. But not every movie has to serve the same purpose.
Yeah.
That's the same with music or art or whatever. Not everything has to serve the same purpose. There's a variety of different stuff out there, and that's what I think. Yeah, that's wonderful to me. I think that's awesome. So, yeah, I can't express my love for this movie enough. Tagline, you mentioned. More than not a tagline, it's a preview that can become somewhat the tagline is that more blood, loud screaming, and nudity than any horror movie I can think of. Not that much blood. And frolicking. Not that much blood. What blood there is a lot. Mostly when Alucard walks around naked, covered in blood.
Yeah.
Because fuck it, why not? There's more nudity, more blood. Gloriously gratuitous movie. Like if John Waters made horror movies and was Mexican, he would probably make this movie. But
that's also another thing I appreciate. Mexico is very underrepresented
totally.
horror culture.
Oh yeah,
which is interesting because like I've never been there, but from like the friends I have from there or have been there, like horror and goth and punk is like huge down there.
Yeah, they have like a strong. They have a very strong history, folklore and boogeyman.
Oh yeah, I mean Dia de los Muertos,
right. El Cucuy.
El Cucuy. But yeah, like I mean, even a few like lesser known goth bands, like London After Midnight or Human Drama, like I always think, oh, they're has-beens, they're jokes. And then I found out they're like headlining festivals in Mexico. I'm like,
wow. Yeah. They like, So like, there's not that many. There's horror movies done by Hispanic directors.
Yeah.
But there's not many horror movies that are shot in Mexico.
It makes sense that culture would be huge down there too because there's a lot of death.
Right. Like there's
like the drug cartel stuff.
Right.
Just like. Especially, like, again, in their folklore, too. And then also their history with magical realism.
Totally.
So, like, all that together.
Yeah, Brujeria, the band, and the witchcraft.
Yeah. Just, like, all that put together would make for a very vibrant, dark culture.
Right. No, totally. So, yeah. Let's go for the ratings now. Okay, so...
for the what?
For the rating, 1 out of 10. What would you rate Alucard 1 out of 10?
I'm going to say 7 because it is enjoyable, but I'd have to be in the mood for it. Or, like, I'd either have to be in the mood for it to actually watch it, or it would just be something to have on in the background.
Right.
And actually, even then, for me, it would only be, like, the second half of the movie because the setup I really could do without once I know what's going on. Like, once I know the premise of the movie, I don't have to see it again. Just because it's so...
Yeah. Then again,
cheesy.
the setup is really
good.
Then again, I've known, I haven't watched Rocky Horror in a while, but when I do, I just go straight to the Time Warp.
I don't know.
Because I don't care about Damn It, Janet.
See, I love that song.
Of course you do.
Yeah. And also, There's a Light. It's a great song. Like, the action and what happens isn't great, but I enjoy the songs. Damn It, Janet has some great wordplay. I love puns.
Anyway, so...
Putting the pun back in punk.
I'm going to give this movie a definitely hard 10 just because it is I've seen a lot of movies that seeked out to be gratuitous, and there's no movie that has been this gratuitous. Everything, the acting, the unabashed nudity, the gloriously hammy satanic rants, all way over the top. More over the top than they should be, maybe. Definitely over the top. Fucking amazing. So at this point, we're going to play out with a song. Who knows what song it's going to be?
Something Satan-y.
Something Satan-y?
Yeah.
Let's do the Coffin Shakers, Valpurgis Night. Not.
Yeah.
Because,
That
yeah.
German thing.
Yeah, because, there's sort of the German characters in this movie that are German but not.
Yeah.
And, yeah, so that's it. Alucarda, definitely check it out. It's on Amazon for pretty cheap. If you spoiled the movie, it doesn't really matter because you're
It
just
does
watching
feel
it.
like a movie that would be pretty cheap.
I think I bought it on Amazon for like $9 or something.
Well, I mean, just like
that.
looking at the case, like
It's a pretty cheap case.
yeah, anything that has a logo like that
Right. No,
is pretty cheap.
I don't know. I've seen some pretty. I've honestly, actually, these are sometimes more expensive because like in hindsight, they're more expensive because like the company puts out 100 of them and then.
Let's just say the FBI warning in the beginning had no seal on it whatsoever.
No, it never was made cheap. But actually, what's kind of interesting when you think about it is like the cheaper stuff, like
the menu was clearly made on a Mac.
Yeah. But it has a nice tribute to the director by Del Toro, so that was nice.
Nice.
Yeah, always nice to see another.
Benicio del Toro.
Yeah, Benicio del Toro. Always nice.
He's an actor, right?
Director. He did Pan's Labyrinth and other stuff.
Wasn't he in Sin City? Does he act too?
Maybe he was. I never saw Sin City, so.
No, really?
No, I never
Oh,
saw
you should
Sin
watch
City.
that one.
Maybe I should. Anyway, Alucarda, very enjoyable. Check it out. If you don't want to spend it, it pops up on Daily Motion and YouTube every once in a while.
I feel like there's a lot of ways you could see it for free.
Yeah, well,
Internet.
we don't approve of any of them unless it's on YouTube and you get that for free and not anything illegal.
Yeah.
Don't approve or condone or instigate or conspiracy too. But yeah,
We
definitely
acknowledge that it exists for free. And that's the extent of it.
I acknowledge that it exists.
That's where our responsibility begins and ends.
Begins and ends.
Yeah.
Definitely check it out if you haven't, and if you have already seen it, we hope you enjoyed us paying tribute to this lovely, lovely piece of cinema, which will probably go on forever as the most gratuitous movie I've ever seen. That's not literally a porno, and even then, pornos don't have that intensive acting.
Depends on the porno.
Coffin Shakers, Valpurgis Nacht, gonna play you out. We don't need to sign out because this song will sign you out for us. Thank you. Good night.